Bryan Kehl, 6-year NFL veteran, former BYU great, in a day early. It's a throwdown Thursday before a fast Friday. Bryan, welcome back to Studio B.
Thanks, guys.
Our Twitter question today, you just heard it. Which fan base is most concerned? We just outlined all of the concerns, at least that we know of right now on both sides. Which fan base should be more concerned?
I'd say theirs.
Why?
Because they got a new coach. They got a couple guys in trouble, or I don't know what happened, but they're not playing.
Nice when other teams have that too, right?
Yes, it is. That is an even playing ground. So they got more pressure because it's Nebraska and the expectations and blah, blah, blah. Pressure's on them. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. And I think Spencer said the same thing in the first segment there, where just the new coach part to me is more pressure because they're not. They won 47 games last 5 years.
That's what I was going to say. Think about the pressure on the coach
to win.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, how many 9 wins last year?
Yes.
And the guy got fired.
Yes.
Yeah. So
9 or 10 the last 5 years.
I guess this is for the fans, so the fans don't feel the pressure that the coach does. But I'm going to say that the pressure the coach is feeling that emanates out to the fans, and they all feel the collective pressure. Us, we're cool.
Nebraska is supposed to win. They're a 6-point favorite. They've won 29 consecutive home openers. They haven't lost at home to open a season since 1985.
Yeah, pressure's on them.
If you were a linebacker in Nebraska, would you be feeling this kind of pressure, or are you ignorant of
Well,
these
I don't
things?
feel pressure, so that's just
there we go.
I mean, I can't respond because I don't. I don't know what that's like.
Did you ever feel pressure as a player? Honestly,
well, I just said I don't feel pressure, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you.
I'm probing with you to see if that's actually the case.
We just mentioned golf. Put me in front of a 4-foot putt with let's just say there's something on the line between me and my associates.
That's pressure.
Put me in front of a 4-foot putt, and I feel that pressure. But I'll tell you this: in football, though, I can't really say that there was ever a time where I was nervous, like, I don't know. I just kind of, the bigger the occasion was, the more excited I was.
Is that because you were well prepared? Why was that?
I think part because I had a confidence in myself, a confidence in my abilities. And preparation, I guess I put in the work in the off season so that I could always know that whoever was across from me, I had outworked them. I had put in the time, I'd put in the effort. They might be good, they might be big, they might be whatever, but I had put in the work. And so I don't know. And granted, there's no way that I could know that I outworked them, but I worked so hard that I didn't care. I still had that confidence. And so I think that's part of it. I don't know. But I can't really say that there was ever a time where I was nervous because of pressure. I would say the only thing that I felt was excitement.
I get it about the golf. I told Jeremy this the other day. I played in something called the Sportscasters Masters when I was a sportscaster in California. We had a gallery watching us play golf.
Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. I'm done.
Unbelievably
Stick a fork in me.
Pressure packed.
If I ever have to tee off, if we're on number one and there's a group behind us or other people that I don't know watching, forget about it. I step to the tee, and my only objective is to hit the ball and to not whiff. That's my only objective. Forget about
concerns,
it.
People, real concerns.
And that's why I put a helmet on and pads and was not on tour. That is why.
We've talked about golf way more than BYU and even Utah, okay? So a lot of buzz this week about Dr. Chris Hill's comments. Tom Holman yesterday in the Education Week Q&A said, we're going to play some games. Your thoughts on BYU and Utah? We had a great discussion yesterday about this.
It's kind of funny. I tell you guys that I have these ideas for blogs. I've been a lazy blogger. I wrote like 3 or 4 blogs and then haven't been back to it in like 10 months or something.
Why come on here?
That's why I come out here, because it's easier for me to talk.
Verbal.
It takes forever to type it all out, because I'm a perfectionist. Everything has to be perfect. Anyway, back to your question. I wanted to write a blog about this and just kind of poke fun at the Utah fans. It's kind of funny. It's like say you got 2 kids in the poor neighborhood, and one of them falls into some money, and now I don't need you anymore. I'm too good for you guys. A lot of the Utah fans, that's what they're acting like with falling into the Pac-12. It's kind of like, we don't need BYU anymore. And it's just, and the thing about it is, it's not that they don't want to play us. They do. It's not that they don't enjoy beating us if they happen to do that. They really do.
In the last 4 years, they've won.
They know that it's something they have on us. And they like to stick it. It's just funny. I mean, you drive around and you see those Pac-12 stickers. We were talking about this the other day when this media thing about the rivalry. Where else in the country do the fans put up the conference sticker?
They don't.
They don't.
I went to College Station in A&M a couple weeks ago, as you know, and I asked in the bookstore if they had any SEC stickers.
Did they?
And they said no.
Yes. and you know what's funny is we talked about this. Someone brought up A&M, and because that kind of would be a little thing where they have it up on Texas or whatever. We're on the SEC. But even then, they didn't have SEC stickers because they don't care. But it's funny. I don't know if that billboard's still there, but you see that billboard at the point of the mountain, now entering Pac-12 country. Give me a break, man. Every time I drive by that, I wish I could go spray paint it, which I wouldn't do that, but I wish I could. Now entering the doormat of the Pac-12 country. That's what I wish. That's what I wish I could spray.
Ranked last year.
That's what I wish I could spray paint on there.
Now, what we found out yesterday, and we thought this was interesting, Brian, was that a lot of the people outside of Utah seem to be like, meh, about continuing the series.
A lot of fans or just
BYU fans?
Impartial.
Because they don't have Ute neighbors, I think.
That shocks me.
Isn't that interesting?
It shocks me. And I didn't really answer.
Locally, it's bigger.
Yeah, so I didn't really answer your question. So I just kind of went off there, but about the Utah fans, it's just kind of funny, but that's some of the fans. Most of the fans, I don't know, Gordon Monson said there were polls. I haven't seen the polls, but I believe what he said. Most people want the rivalry. And I was thinking about it. What makes a rivalry? Proximity and history. Okay? The schools are what? 40 miles?
Competitive moment.
40 miles apart? I don't know what it is. Something like that. 40 miles apart. So you have the proximity and you have the history. I don't know how many times they've played, but it's like 100, something like that, in that range, give or take. Look around the country, and I was trying to think about this in the NFL. You really don't have the same type of rivalries. That's what separates college football and the NFL. You don't have the same type of rivalries. I was privileged to play for one of the teams that actually kind of does have a legit rivalry, the Giants and the Eagles. And you look at those two things. They have the proximity. They top of New Jersey, bottom of New Jersey. And they have the history. They've been in the same division. They played each other forever. But it was kind of funny. Like when I was in St. Louis, our division, NFC West, the 49ers, the Cardinals, the Seahawks. And it was funny. We were getting ready to play the Seahawks, and our coach, I couldn't stand our head coach, and he said a couple times during the week, remember, guys, we don't like this team. We hate these guys. And I said to the other guys on the team, I was like, hey, if he has to remind us that we don't like them, it's probably not that big of a rivalry. If he has to remind us. When BYU is getting ready to play Utah, the coaches aren't reminding anybody we don't like that team down south or up north.
Now, there is this growing trend, however, nationally in college football where rivalries are going away. Kansas, Missouri, gone. Colorado, Nebraska, gone. Michigan, Notre Dame, gone.
Yeah.
BYU, Utah on a 2-year hiatus. So nationally, should we care about this if rivalries are continuing to die?
And if it's
shameful. It's
on
shameful.
Utah's end, they're saying, okay, if we can play Michigan over BYU, we want to play Michigan. I think BYU can say the same thing as well. Like, hey, if we can play Michigan State a certain week, and that's the only week that works at Utah, you're probably going to play Michigan State.
It's tough. I want to find a way to do both. Find a way.
Me too.
Find a way. I want to play Utah. That's just me. Maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know. I think I'm in the majority. I want to play them. Partly because they beat us. Was it 4 times in a row? Something like that. That pisses me off. we can't beat them until we play them. I want to play them. It's fun for the state. There's the rivalry, the trash talk aspect of it, and then there's the history of it. And I don't know. In my opinion, college football is about history. It's about pageantry. It's about the band. It's about the students. And that's what separates it from the NFL. And you talk about how it's those rivalries are going away. That's what's unfortunate.
Now it's becoming about money.
College football is becoming more about money, about the mighty dollar, and it's a shame. It is unfortunate.
How similar, now that Utah is in the Pac-12, when you look at the rivalry as it plays out now, it's a September non-conference game for Utah. Comparing that to what it used to be, the last game of the season in the same conference, for me, it just lost some luster because it's September and it's non-conference.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find this real quick. I showed this to my wife last year during Rivalry Week. I tweeted out this picture. It was just a screenshot that I saw. Here it is. Okay. So this was Rivalry Week last year. Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia Tech, Georgia, South Carolina, Clemson, Kentucky, Louisville, Florida, Florida State. There's just a screenshot of ESPN scores. And I showed this to my wife last night, or a couple days ago, I don't remember. Anyway, of all those, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 games I just listed there. Only one of those are in the same conference, Michigan, Ohio State. The other 4, the other 8 teams, they're in different conferences. Yet somehow they magically found a way to schedule each other
in November.
In November.
They've been doing it for a long time.
History.
Yeah.
History.
So BYU and Utah
it's not impossible, is my point.
BYU, and we're seeing that. BYU and Utah will play for 5 straight years. Hopefully 7, hopefully 50.
In 2018, there is a November game. In 2018, BYU and Utah will be played in November.
Yeah.
That automatically makes it more relevant.
And that's the thing.
And does it?
The first time, it does. The first time they had that September game, it was like...
It's weird.
It was like Christmas in September.
I love Christmas
it's still
every
great.
day.
Yes, it's still great. You're not going to complain about it. You're still great. It's still fun. You're still going to get excited about it. But it's not like a white Christmas with the snow gently falling down and sleds and snowball. You know what I mean?
To me,
it's just not the same.
To me, the end of the year context was there was conference implications. That's what made it better. Like being in November is the same as being in September if you're not in the same conference.
For me, it's save the best for last. That's what it is for me. It's save the best for last. It's cold. It's fall. It's crisp air. It's leaves on the ground. It's all those elements that just trigger your mind.
That's why we have Fresno State this year.
It's not the same. Oh, that's just...
If you can have a senior day, like one of the teams has a senior day.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
For me...
Now you're throwing me some...
The last time I played in that stadium was against Utah. You just showed on here my last play in LaVell Edwards Stadium. You just showed it. Was that Hail Mary attempt by Utah in 2007.
And you tried to catch it, and everyone else was like, bat it down.
I did. I did try to catch it. I wanted to catch it. I wanted to.
And then it slips out of your hands, and they catch it, and it's this miracle. No!
No, well, have you seen, sometimes the guys try to bat it down, they bat it right to the other guy. Have you seen that? I've seen it happen.
That happened in the game last year.
I've seen it happen.
We're just getting going.
I'm catching it, and then I was gonna run to the sideline and stick it in their face. That was my plan, at least.
It's a Throwdown Thursday with Bryan Kehl. We're coming back with more